Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please stand for our national anthem. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Saratoga Racecourse as we wrap up the month of July and we also wrap up week number 3 here at the Spa. Another pleasant day in the weather department, mostly sunny skies. The temperature will be right around 80 degrees. The main track fast. The turf course is firm. Portable rails are up at 18 feet on both the melon and the inner turf. No carryover in the pick 6, and there are no changes to report in today's first race. In the second race, scratch number 11, Empress Isabel. Scratch the 11, Empress Isabel, out of the second. Race 3, no changes. In the fourth, scratch number 4, Majority Partner. Scratch the 4 out of the fourth. Race 5 starts the pick 6. It's also the first leg of today's triple play pick 3 that will take in races 5, 8, and 9. In race 5, scratch the 10, Good Penny. Scratch number 10, Good Penny. No changes in the sixth race. In race 7, scratch 1A, Burning Bright, 9, TD Dance, and 12, Intrepid Heart. Scratch 1A, 9, and 12. Today's eighth race is the Grade 2 Bowling Green Stakes. Scratch number 5, Cibolian. Scratch number 5, Cibolian. The ninth race is the Grade 2 Amsterdam. Number 6 will be 1 pound over. And in today's 10th race, we have a jockey change on the 12, Brennan's War, to Junior Alvarado. Junior Alvarado rides the 12, Brennan's War. And scratch number 13, Gimme Back My Bullets. Scratch the 13 out of race 10. Fast and firm here at Saratoga. We'll be back at 12:30 to reprise the changes. First race post is at 1:05. Up next, Serling, Stabile. They're talking horses.
Morning, everybody, and welcome to Talking Horses, presented by our good friends at Saratoga Water. The great Anthony Stabile to my left, Andy Sterling here on a gorgeous Sunday morning. Anthony's good. Anthony's really, I don't know he's going to be on the show, but he's been on the top of his game before we went on the air. And you're excited because it's Jerry Garcia's birthday tomorrow, his 80th. Even though they were playing the Grateful Dead when you walked in.
Are we doing something?
You walked in, they were playing Dark Star. You were a little upset. It wasn't from 70s from Fillmore, but you know, respecting a little Althea to come into the show. It was all good, right? You got 7.5 hours sleep.
I did. I got 7.5 hours.
Hair's looking good. It's all happening for you today.
It's all that matters. The hair, right? Beard's nice and tight.
Yeah, you're looking sharp. Yeah.
Actually ate breakfast this morning.
Wow,
it was good.
Really?
Yeah.
I had mom made Sunday breakfast special.
What'd you have?
Poached eggs, bacon, nice crispy bacon, a little fruit cup. Yeah, Sunday's always
a little iced coffee and a little biscotti this morning.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sundays are special. Anyway, big day yesterday. A couple of nice performances to talk about. Epicenter thrusts himself in very likely the favorites role for the Travers. Jackie's Warrior. I understand that he didn't beat the strongest Grade 1 field ever assembled. We got a 105 buyer, and I mean, we joke about it, and I'm one of these guys that's not big on that. They could have run faster, and who knows how much faster horses can run. Joel Rosario never moved a muscle. He works harder than he ran.
Horses don't win 10 claimers the way he won the Vanderbilt yesterday. Yeah, there are probably times in his life where he has trained harder than he ran yesterday. That's pretty impressive.
That was something. That really was.
That was something.
Fun day yesterday. Great crowd here. I hope a lot of people enjoyed the day. But we've got 10 more to go. Is day number 14. 35% of the way in the meet after today, about a third, just under a third of the way before today's card starts. Head over to Naira Bets. You don't want to miss another day not playing through Naira Bets. Head over to NairaBets.com. Use the promo code TOGA200. Sign up for Naira Bets. Play through Naira Bets. We have a bankroll builder for the Run Happy Travers. 50 to win on anyone in the Amsterdam. Win or lose, $20. $20 today for the bankroll for the Travers. What else do we have? We have the low rollers. Low rollers. Jay and Ray outside the Miller Time 4-Star Dave Sports Bar.
That's almost as long as the American.
You're upset.
You got it. I mean, you killed it.
You
killed the American Grand Prix Jockey Club Invitational.
I would like to take credit for that. I really would.
You did it.
I'd like that to be on my resume as one of my few accomplishments in life, and I'm willing to accept that from you. It's not true, but I'm willing to accept it.
Take a picture of that, too?
Which one? The resume or
the race?
Anyhow, moving on. Right, yeah. From a tree. You were in the tree.
5'8".
5, 8, and 9.
I'd still be in the tree. 5, 8, and 9 today.
I want pictures of you getting up in the tree. Special pick, $3 pick 3 triple play.
You would have heard if I came down.
Yeah. Yeah. If that branch fell in the forest, believe me, that tree,
everything makes a sound.
Yeah, believe me, it made a sound.
2 steaks.
We like to keep you on your feet. No, that's yesterday. Today is July 31st.
Yeah, that was yesterday, guys.
The good news is I actually noticed that. Heck of a slate, though. We're back. So, how's the job of the ice cream truck going? You had to get a second job.
Here we go. Yes, I absolutely did. I'm actually going to be hosting at Nove tonight in this outfit. Louis dresses in black. I dress in white.
Anyhow.
Light gray.
Okay, we got the Nove entrance out of the way. Race number 1, the number 2, Truancy, finishing second. This horse ran well. I mean, I know that Let Her Inspire You came back and ran 8 buyer points lower the next time out. And listen, maybe this horse, and I'm willing to wait, have a little water.
There it comes.
Maybe this horse was cranked up for his debut and actually took money behind Let Her Inspire You for a runaway and hide. But this horse ran, and I think a duplication of this performance.
She ran into a filly that obviously needed the break and has come back a different horse than the one that.
Yeah, our next race was not nearly as good as this one, though.
Right, but she got the job done, and she had every right to go backwards a little bit off of a big effort, right? She ran in the 80s.
I suppose.
Yeah, it was a good race, and she was well meant the first time. She just ran to a filly who came back from the layoff ready to roll with some experience under her belt.
So why is Photon going to run better?
Makes a lot of sense, doesn't she? I thought Photon ran sneaky good first time out. She took some money.
In what way did this horse run sneaky good?
I thought this horse.
I thought she ran sneaky horrendous.
I think this horse will be a lot closer today. I think the.
Okay, so For whatever reason, and maybe she will be, she'll be closer today.
Well, she
But
didn't, get, away from,
run
she
well.
didn't get away from there cleanly. And it was,
I aware she broke about this much slow, and she went to the rail and never ran a step.
But
now,
enough,
that doesn't mean she can't win today. But please, Anthony, she's not running.
But enough first time out. And I thought she ran, I think, out of position. Okay.
Come
All
on.
right. Well, you'll see today.
No, I'm not saying she won't run better today.
She was supposed to be
she did
closer
not.
last time.
Okay, but she did not run a step last time. I mean, so first her took some money, and she can run. I didn't even include her in the video, and we'll show the race she comes out. If you want to see her, she's the horse plodding along on the rail towards the back. In fact, do we show? Yeah, we'll show the start. Now, you can watch her. This is number 7 we're voting, but she's the number 2. I mean, she broke about 3/4 of a length slow. Well, look at the 7. Look where the 7 broke relative to her. The 7 is Velouse, and look where Velouse finished. So if you want to compare the two performances, I mean, Velouse is in a different county than she's in, right? She's the one trailing in the back.
But I want to compare a horse who, to my knowledge, the plan was to be a little forward last time in her debut to a horse that had run a couple of times on the turf.
Okay.
I thought she ran.
She didn't run a step in here,
Okay,
Anthony.
okay.
Come on.
All
You're
right.
seeing it. There she is on the rail. I don't have a problem. You may be right. She may be a different horse today. She may have speed.
You don't think she did any running last time?
She was awful. As bad as a horse could be.
Okay.
It doesn't mean she's not going to run better today, but to suggest that she did some running in there is silly.
Okay.
Well, she sat on the rail and never ran.
Okay.
I mean, come on. You think she ran? What did she do that ran? I want to know. I mean, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I don't understand what she did.
How many lunches do you want Velouse against her for?
Anthony, that's not the question. I'm not.
What I'm saying to you is this: she was making her debut. The other filly had run twice.
Okay.
To my understanding, the plan was to break running. She did not break that. She did not break well.
Nor did she run.
She was last early.
Oh, you want to bet me lunches? The 2 against the 1 against the 6?
Yes.
Oh yeah. How many?
You tell me.
No, you're the one down 105. You tell me.
Let's bet the 5.
Okay, that's good. 5 lunches. I have 1 over 6. Okay.
I
I'm
just feel like
not telling you. I've got the 6/4. I get what you're saying. She took some money first time out. She stunk. I've seen plenty of horses stink first time that came back and ran well, especially for taking money. But she did not do any.
But I don't think you could. I think it's unfair to say she stunk when I'm telling you.
I didn't say she stinks as a horse. I said she ran terrible.
She planned. The plan was to whatever.
But she didn't. Anthony, the plan every time is to be in position and win races. Most horses don't do that because they're not good enough. It's not like horses go out there with a plan to lose.
Okay.
But of course the plan was to do well. I wish her the best of luck. Anybody else here that we want to talk about
I don't
before we
think
go?
so.
Eau Claire trying the dirt?
Kind of seems like a.
I don't know. I bet the horse last time, I thought the horse was home and just stopped.
Yeah, she just stopped last time. That she was
Point
able
of
to go pretty.
entry. There's
She
some
was able to
dirt
go pretty
pedigree.
slow. She was able to go pretty slow on the front end too.
Yeah. No, I thought she was awful last
Yeah.
time. I bet her. I mean, I don't know excuse she had. She was terrible. She was bad too, and I bet her. No excuse. Race number 2. What's going on in race number 2? We got a horse, right, that ran somewhere. Woodbine.
WO.
Didn't the Marcassi horse from Woodbine run okay the other? No. He's had some horses run fine.
Well, the Gulfstream shipper
Right,
won.
yeah. I will say one thing about this horse, and we can show the race that comes out of. This is the number 8, Ticker Tape Home, who I've got 3rd. I don't give anywhere. This race collapsed, and she actually kind of broke this race open with her move. Now, I'm not in love with the idea of her stretching out in her second start, but I actually thought this horse ran okay in here.
Yeah, I put a 3rd. I thought she, that's a pretty quick fig for that race, for a race of this kind up at Woodbine, just starting the second half of the year. She took a bunch of money. She was the favorite that day. She made what looked like a winning move, and she just got tired.
Well, and it's a race that just completely fell apart.
Yeah.
But it's 6 to a mile and 16th, but it's still experience. You have the 10 on top. Is there a story on this horse that I should know about?
No,
Okay.
no story. I wanted I didn't think there was any particular interesting pedigree in here.
It's a weird one, right? This one really has no
Yeah,
pedigree.
no pedigree here.
I mean, it's
So
a tap at 300,000.
yeah,
Damn
I put the 2 Chads 1-2. I didn't know what else to really do in here. I split the.
Turf Accountant has half the 3 turf winners at 8 to try it.
Yeah, Katama Moonlight won 3 races on the grass. Chad had it. Was she Chad?
Which one?
Katama Moonlight.
What's the first
Was
part?
that Todd? Katama.
You would remember better than me.
She broke her maiden at Gulfstream. I remember her breaking her maiden at Gulfstream. She won a couple of races after that. She hit the board 7 times. She was okay. I mean, she was okay. She was the most recent of the. I believe she's the most recent of the turf winners.
You know, I kind of guessed a little bit with Suge on the rail.
Okay.
I was happy to see that when I guessed with him that David Aragona guessed with her as well. He's probably watched Works. But the dam won the matchmaker. She ran a 98 buyer. She ran in Europe and the U.S. The second dam was a very, very good European turf horse. So there's plenty of pedigree in this horse. Interested to see the City of Light. So I guess Suge seems to be somewhat live occasionally with the first-time starters. No argument with the 10. There's those horses.
A couple of Euros in here, too, right? The 4, Be Your Best. The 7, Fredis the Red. You know what Fredis the Red is named after?
No.
Eric the Red's daughter.
Eric Red had a daughter? How did he have time?
I don't know.
Wasn't he running around pillaging and stuff?
You want to know what the best part of that little tidbit is? You know who gave this to me? Red.
Not Eric.
No, not Eric. Red.
He's a known as the he's a known he's the guy.
I wonder
to go
if
to
Red
for
was a
information
Viking.
About
Red, come tell us if you were a Viking.
I think he is a Viking. Be Your Best. You know, Be Your Best is a have to.
No.
I'm glad that horse that ran really well for Jonathan Thomas first time out of Keeneland.
Oh, yeah,
ran
yeah,
terribly
yeah.
at Belmont and then was a drop down here and ran last. Remember the
Oh,
other day?
yes.
You know, I'm glad. Yeah. All right. See what happens. 2-year-old fillies. Sunday's Philly Day.
I'm glad you're glad, Andy.
I'm glad you're glad. I'm glad. By the way, I was going to text from my friend Jay. He said, I'm screwed. I agree with Stabile in the first race. He's actually fairly sharp on occasion. And he's not, by the way, and he's
Well,
on a
then
big,
you know what? He might be both.
He's been strong this meet. No.
Oh,
he's
good.
been very strong this meet.
All right, Jay.
Which means it's due to change, but he's with you. He just texted me.
Trying to do it
He
together,
said,
Jay.
sign me up. I'm with Stabile.
Good. That's my man.
You know, he's a great guy. He really is one of you guys would actually be good friends. He's a good dude. Let's look at the third race. By the way, I don't know about you, and we'll show your horse first off the claim for Linda.
Who wanted to make a pick in this race?
This race. Well, I mean, the 7th race was impossible, but impossible because of super strong field and a competitive field. This race, my God, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did a Stabile in here, and this is, let's be clear. Let's be clear, is beating a terrible field. I don't disagree with you at all. She obviously could win off the claim for Linda. I went to Mike Maker. I don't know. The guys' horses are winning like they were last year. I just went to Knowing Glance, who I thought ran fine last time out. I don't like any of these horses anymore. You know what I think's a little interesting is Tweaked on the rail. I do understand the argument the horse improved last time on turf.
Ran so much better on the grass, right?
I agree, but this horse started out like she would be okay.
Yeah.
And she fell apart, and I imagine that's why Bobby Robato was going. And I haven't had a Bobby Robato horse in the first 2 in a while since she told me to stop picking them. So I figured I've earned the ability to put them in since you yelled at me like, and you were right. About 18 months ago, you said you pick every one of his horses like in the top 2. So I've been not doing it, so I figured I'm allowed now.
That's why he's been in the exact in 3 of his 4 starts up here.
What's that?
He's been in the exact in 3 of his 4 starts here so far.
There
so
you have it. No, I'll
probably
bury him.
Yeah.
No, I'll bury him. He'll say to me, Andy, do me a favor, stop picking them.
That's my deal with Jimmy Ryerson. I don't pick Jimmy Ryerson anymore.
I don't know what to do. You know, Dawnland ran that big figure, but that's just such a weak field, and it's so dichotomous to her other races that I have no confidence she can run it again. But you've got her second. I've got her fourth.
I
won't be shocked if she wins.
That number just sticks out. It's on an island.
What about the Diodoro horse claimed from Brad Cox?
Right. Ordinarily, the first half of that sentence is usually a positive. The Diodoro horse claimed from.
It's a terrible
Then you
race.
fill in the blanks at the end of that, and it's a tough row to hoe.
That was not a good field this horse was in.
No, and cutting back
Are we
from the
rooting
mile
for Jay
to
to
the
win a
7.
race? Jay's been cold.
Yeah,
Saratoga, everybody gets cold.
Saratoga. Yeah.
He's still in a good mood. I see him. All right, we done? Now, Jay, if you've won a race or two, don't get mad at me. I'm rooting for you. I am. I forget if I've won a race. Believe me. I don't worry about Jay. He wouldn't get mad.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Race number 4, I like Majority Partner. And I'm a glutton for punishment, right?
No, I think part of the reason you pick them is so that you can at least complain about something once a day.
So at least I may not realize it, but you're probably right.
And your subconscious is probably
Right,
like,
right.
I'm going to pick this horse. I know there's a good chance this horse is
I
going to
was literally
scratch.
on the phone with my friend Sean, and I said, I like Majority Partner in the 4th, but I'm sure Linda will scratch him. And the scratches came up about
Sure
90
enough.
seconds later. And thanks, Linda, you didn't disappoint. So let's look at the horse you have on top, the 7, Tap into Bank, who I don't disagree with you. And by the way, Click Flash came back and ran second.
Tally Lynch, let me tell you something.
Yeah,
Tally Lynch, for the limited claims
very
she's
quietly
made,
doing.
for the limited claims she makes, she's got some eye in the claim box, man. Really, really does. Yeah.
Could not agree more.
I was suspect of this horse's maiden win. But then this horse ran his eyeballs out trying to get by Quick Flash, who took advantage of the track last time. Just could not get by, but did improve a little bit. The buyer figure improved 6 points. And it kind of corroborated the maiden win.
Well, the funny thing is the maiden win, I thought the rail was good that day. I thought it was a big improvement over the maiden win.
He was good.
I got no problem with this horse. I agree with you completely. I think that she is the horse to beat in here. He is the horse to beat. I don't know. You know, with Bold Journey, we'll show that race that sort of kind of fell apart after it was the Gander, and it felt like he just couldn't get the distance, but he ran a career best 85 buyer, and Barisi was a legit horse. And I obviously had no shot in the Gotham, and then he wasn't going to win last time, but he didn't run at all.
It could have been the mud. Last time could have been the mud.
I mean, you're talking about a horse that was running low to mid 80 buyers early in his 3-year-old year. In a normal situation, you could see this horse running at 90 today. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I don't think you'll disagree with me that if somebody runs a big figure in this race, he might be the favorite to do it.
No
Doesn't
question
mean he's going to
about it.
win.
No question
Doesn't mean you
about
like him or want to bet him.
Yeah,
but if somebody does,
I don't like him.
Well, you don't have met.
No, I don't like him.
Does Bill know? I can text him. Text him, let him know.
Sure.
You're really turning on Bill. What, did he do something to you?
No.
Say happy birthday to him and he didn't ignore you or something?
No, absolutely not.
There's a story.
There's no story.
You don't like this horse at all, huh? Done?
I've kind of lost enough money on this horse.
Well, I guess that's where we differ. You know, you've got Street Star second. I get it. This is a Todd Pletcher 7-1 that won first time. I had some stats. Todd Pletcher off maiden wins and dirt sprints. Now, to be fair, he's 24%, but he's a $1.30 ROI. Now, this horse is not going to be. Oh, he has 3-1 morning line. He has him favored morning line. Would you want this horse as the favorite?
No, but this, I can see that board being exactly what that line looks like. This is going to be, you know, you're going to have 4 horses between 3-1 and 5-1. Maybe 5 horses between 3-1 and
I want no part of this.
7-2 and 6-1.
And he did run well first time. I'm not denying it, but I don't want any part of him. I don't know. I think they're a better horse. He better improve to win, in my opinion. I know the buyer figure says I'm wrong. Maybe I will be wrong. Unique Union's logical, right?
Yeah.
He's not a winner, though, right?
Just not a winner, right.
Yeah. He ran okay last time, but he had a pretty good trip.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was in a perfect position last time. This is a horse who kind of lost the speed a little bit. And
Dr. Blue, the Safi Joseph trainer change. He had a claim yesterday that ran about 50 lengths better than ever run before.
You know, did you and I miss that?
No, I looked at that horse long and hard.
I know Nick Tamara liked the horse.
That horse? The one? No. This is Safi Joseph horse?
I think he gave that horse out as his play of the day.
Oh, okay.
And I know a couple other guys. I know I was talking to Paul when we were doing Saratoga Live yesterday. Paul used the horse. And the common denominator was everybody thought that horse was going to be loose on the lead. I thought there was A, other speed in there, and B, he had never, I know he was coming out of faster races, but he had never shown any speed.
This is a moment where you and I agree. Now, I'm not shocked that he was in front, but he didn't look. I was talking about it with a friend up at the table, and he said the same thing. I'm not even sure you make this horse the speed. And
the other problem is, he didn't take a dime on the board. First time Safi Joseph 14-1.
I looked a long time. Safi Joseph does have good numbers, stretching out off the claim, which I looked up.
That horse was tough to find yesterday.
I thought race number 5 was one of a number of races today that was really kind of utterly impossible. You've got layoffs. You've got Capital Structure, who may be favored. Who, you know, can you trust him? We'll show you Capital Structure when she was good. And this was at 1.25 miles at Belmont. That's why I showed it. And she lost to Virginia Joy in her U.S. debut, and Virginia Joy is a subsequent stakes winner. And she also made the last move to beat her. But I have to say, I'm not overly confident she wants 1 mile and 3/8. And I can make an excuse for her last race. It was a ridiculous, slow crawl fest. But I got to tell you, Anth, she's a little tough to trust. Do I think she's the worst to beat in a way? 100%. Her good race is better than these horses. Somewhere in there, she's a lot better than these horses. But I don't trust her, and I don't want to take her on top as a favorite.
So I took her for 2 reasons.
Chad Brown and Seth Klarman?
One, she has the best race. Her best race beats these horses and beats them like a drum.
That's why she's favored.
Secondly, the only time this horse has had 2 races on a form cycle, it looked like she needed the first race, and then she improved 8 buyer points next time, and you watch her run that day, she improved tremendously. She's getting to do that again. And the fact that Chad,
her 1 mile and 3/8?
Well, the fact that Chad keeps running her.
Where's he supposed to run her?
Listen.
What's he supposed to do?
Run her 1 mile and a 16th. He keeps running her. He keeps running her at these longer distances. Leads me to believe that he thinks she does want it.
I will say her race 2 back was a meltdown on a suicidal pace. That was the suicidal pace in the race that went 7 seconds slower than the track record, where they still went 48 to the half. that Tom Amos said in the show was a slow pace.
I mean, look at this.
I'm never going to live down the fact that I wasn't on the show to
I mean,
ridicule him for
La
that.
Dragon T graded stakes winner, Virginia Joy graded stakes winner, Duopoly
Anthony,
grade 1 winner.
What about her last race?
If I'm right, and she's,
But she's going to be a short price. I've got her second. I'm not arguing against her. All I'm saying is she's a very hard horse to bet on at a short price.
I guess she's going to be the favorite. But this is, I think
horse
this
keep on
is
the
going to be
racetrack,
another. This is going to be another. She is. I think this is going to be another one of those tote boards where there's 4 of them sitting between 5 to 2
I don't know how they're
and
going to
5
bet
to
it,
1.
who's going to win. I don't. Now, I mean, I think that Costana is very dangerous off
Yeah,
the
I
layoff
put her
for Street
second.
of O. Her last race was good. I know she didn't beat any killers, but she was second to Higher Truth, 2 back, who came back, and you got to think she's probably looking for the Way or Glens Falls, whatever the first of them that comes up here, and she looks like a contender for the Flower Bowl.
Problem is, her last race was 51 weeks ago.
I get it. I totally agree. But Cherie's running her to mile and 3/8 off a year layoff.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't know. Cherie's
She was,
layoffs
she was an
well.
assistant to a guy who was pretty good at doing that.
Exactly, right. She worked for Chad Brown. No, that's a great point. And so I almost picked this horse.
I put her second. I mean, she's very logical. She's logical. If that race was 3 months ago instead of 11 and a half months ago, I probably would have picked her on top.
I took Baby Blythe. She won a public workout last time. The fact she wasn't favored last time is horrendous. That was that race where everybody had to scratch. People don't know why it was a 2-horse race. There was a Lasix problem, and everybody had to scratch. So it was almost just a cancellation affair. I know she ran a mile and 3/8 in the Grand Prix to Jockey Club American Oaks Invitational.
That's just
division.
the Jockey Club Oaks
Whatever.
Invitational, Andy.
Don't.
Why do you have to? Why do you
steal
have to besmirch the race names?
Don't
Race
steal
names?
my fun here, okay? You're really like a Grinch.
It's just the Jockey Club Oaks Invitational. It's
You
very
had to work
clear.
at the Good Humor truck. She had to sit close to a crawling pace that day. I put it this way. I've always liked this horse. I think her last race was fine, a workout, whatever. I feel like she has the recency, and maybe she could step up and be a good horse. I don't love her by any stretch. I mean, I didn't know what to do in this race, to be honest. Mezcal is not supposed to speed. There's other speed in this race, right? Forever Dreaming's supposed to go. How about Ice Princess? I'll be honest with you. I think Ice Princess is a good turf horse. She's had bad trips. But how confident are you she wants a mile and 3/8?
Well, Palace Malice, I'd have been awesome again there. I don't know how. I don't know if I would be overly concerned.
She was much the best in the Hettinger.
She doesn't win,
Much
Andy.
the best.
She's turned into a filly that just doesn't win anymore.
I get it, but she's also had excuses in her turf
She
races.
has.
And I don't know if she's good enough anyway.
But she won half of her first 6 starts, and now she's 1 for 12
I get
since.
it. She's also had some trips. She's had some excuses.
Plenty of
in these
excuses.
races. But she makes the excuses. It's a tough race. Very contentious. Listen, David likes Community Adjusted. Bet that horse last. I have no idea why he likes this horse. I don't like this horse at all. I think that Beer might like this horse too. Since the horse was good enough. But we'll see.
All right.
All right.
Halfway home.
Late pick 5 after a quick break. Be right back.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
We're back for round 2. Anthony and Andy. You are looking sharp, by the way.
Ding.
I don't want to
Thank
make
you.
fun. You look good. You do. You look great. So I'll be honest. This race was just a complete guess. I know nothing. Your half horse Prank is a half 2.
Mo Donegal.
There you have it.
Your Belmont Stakes presented by Naira Betts winner. Yeah. Dan was 2 for 4. This is not a mile and a half. This is 5.5 furlongs. But,
Thank you for that.
You're
Thanks for
welcome.
that. It's not even half of a mile and a half.
You know, I'm not a big fan of the gate work being the final work. So his last 2 works came out of the gate. They're pretty sharp, too.
Well, why did you pick the horse if you're not a big fan of that, Mr. Stabile?
Because it's something different. Something Todd Pletcher doesn't ordinarily do. And I wonder if...
You spent a lot of time wondering about this?
Well, they're the only 2 gateworks on the card. And it wasn't like, time-wise, the first work was bad. It was 48. Came back, and I just wonder if this horse showed him more out of the gate than from the pole.
Is there a story on this horse?
But if you look at the last two, his two gate works are so much better than his pole works. I'm sorry. And that's not something we ordinarily see from the barn, so it intrigued me enough to pick her on top. I know she's probably going to be the favorite. She has the pedigree in the race.
I know nothing. She's 9 to 5 morning line, which means that David must know she's working well or something, because if he makes it, it's often based on the works. Okay, I picked her second. I know nothing. I took a shot with Mott. Mott is a half two.
Who are we looking at? The Bill Mott horse?
Yeah, the guy
it's a full to Jane Gray.
Right. Who won first time out.
Yes.
I don't know. I just took a shot with this one, Mott, 2-year-old Rosario. Joel ride for Mott a lot in these firsters?
Firsters, not ordinarily. Some of the Juddmonte ones. This is a Godolphin.
Who rides? What's the good horse that's running next weekend? Olympiad.
Junior Alvarado.
Junior rides, right. It's an interesting matchup, by the way. We'll have a draw. We're drawing the Whitney at 11 o'clock on Wednesday. The last, I'm not going to tell that story. I just guessed. It was a total guess on my part. I have absolutely no idea.
No Mott for me again.
Check the board for clues.
See this? No Mott for me again.
There's a story, and I'm getting to the bottom of it.
There's no story.
Bill, there's a story, and
there's
I'm getting
no
to the bottom
story.
of it. I'm going to call Bill after the show and find out what's going on here. Yeah, I'm going to uncover this. Maybe we should bring him on the show to explain what happened.
I would love to have Bill on the show.
He's probably pretty upset about this. You know what? He's home. He's saying, oh, thank God, Stabile. He can't pick a winner here. He's leaving me off. That's what it is. You're not picking winners, and you're leaving him off because he's your man, and you want to help him win. You're so benevolent.
There's a list of people I would love to do one of these shows with, and he's there certainly on it.
Bill?
Yeah.
Bill's great.
Bill is as well-versed in the thoroughbred,
Bill's
including handicapping, as anybody on that backstretch.
Bill's a lot of fun. So what else are we looking at? We got a Chad Brown with a Claiborne for Dub.
Yeah.
Big turf for the second generation, but Chad is starting was a flatter. You're not going to run that one in the turf. And that's part of an entry with, Rudy and Chad in an entry. Right?
Yeah, O'Shaughnessy.
Rudy horse ran once, and some people will be confused and think the horse ran well. What about Steve Ashton for Cortland? Have we ever seen Steve with a Cortland farm horse?
Yeah, of course. He took all the Cortland farm horses over.
I thought Shug had them.
No, Steve took them over.
No, Shug had them.
Steve had the horse.
Shug, Mark Hennig had him. Shug had him. You telling that Steve got him from Shug?
Steve got some. The name of that horse, the horse that hit the board in some of the 3-year-old stakes races, finally won the other end after like 7 tries.
I know you're talking about.
I can't remember.
I got to keep up. I'm clearly falling behind. Race number 7 might be the toughest. You really should drive the tractor sometime. Do you know that there's idiots out there that actually think the tractor annoys us? They actually believe that. This is television. Anyhow, this is a super, super tough race.
Tough race.
I mean, and let us start with Soldier Rising, who, in fairness, is kind of the horse.
I just couldn't I couldn't write the 5 first, Andy. I could not do it.
You want to know what a chandelier looks like on 4 legs? How did this guy lose this race? Now, to be fair, Source lost to Channel Maker. You can put the phone down and we can watch the race.
I believe me. I watched this race plenty. I understand it's Channel Maker. How much money do you want on this horse at the quarter pole?
Well, here's the thing. If it had been a first time that happened, you'd say it's Channel Maker.
Right.
But given his resume of hanging, he's a very
It's this
hard
much
horse.
Channel Maker.
Here's one. Is it possible that a cut back a little bit in distance could help him a little bit? He ran second in this race last year. So while this horse is still trying to get through his condition, he got through it 2 starts ago. The horse that beat him that day won the Cox Plate, the Prix Gannet, and the Prince of Wales at Royal Ascot.
It's amazing.
The Saratoga Derby, the stepping stone of the Cox Plate. That's how we should advertise it. But he is the horse to beat.
1 length.
But we both have him second.
Could you imagine a length separated those 2 horses? What separates them now?
I'll tell you, State of Rest is not proud of that moment.
What separates them now?
3 of the biggest Grade 1 stakes in the world.
A length.
Well,
first U.S. start for Soldier Rising, too.
State of Rest is trained by Joseph O'Brien. I mean, look who trains.
Oh, would you stop?
Well, you know. The horse you have on top, Flop Shot, losing to Value Engineering. So Flop Shot finally figured out how to win, and you put him on top?
That's what I'm hoping.
How
I'm
do you
hoping
lose
he
this
finally
race?
figured out to win. Well, why can't we show the win?
Because I want to show him and
Why
Value
do we gotta
Engineering.
show the
Because I'm
lo-
showing
why do we
two
gotta show the
horses.
loss?
I'm showing two contenders in the race. Anthony, you want to do the videos?
I'm kidding. The race is almost a year ago. Anyway.
You want to do the videos? Don't let me stop you. Sonneman,
So he's on the
Nick,
lead.
Nick Tamaro. Nick Tamaro's on his game. He had a couple winners yesterday. Sonneman is the horse you were thinking of,
Yeah,
right?
exactly right.
You're right. They both got horses. Suge and Steve got horses.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't know why I didn't think that.
So Flop Shot was on the lead that day. It was the only time it was ever on the lead. And those were one of his two starts with blinkers. Since the blinkers have come off, he's been able to settle a little bit better.
He has one win.
Yeah, I know.
Well, he was in the lead because there was a slow pace, too, right?
Yeah, he shifted him out to running the Seabiscuit. And
Nick Tamaro has a stat. Chad Brown with off a win in a turf route, 90 to 180 days. He's 24 for 59. That's over 40%. My math is sharp still, even on day 14, with a 320 ROI. So a pretty strong number. That means like roughly $8 horses. Pretty strong. He likes Flop Shot, too. He could win. Believe me, there's horses I don't have in my top 4 that could win. How about this one? Hard Love.
I got him third.
You forgot about poor Hard
I
Love.
almost
didn't
picked
you?
this horse on top today.
Here's his
But
win.
he's had
Belmont
Jonathan
Stakes
Thomas has
Day.
had a couple of horses come back from these long layups and just not fire.
He's had a couple win too.
He has. But
The problem with him is he's probably got to improve off this, his best race, to
Right.
win it. And to do it off a layoff against a field of this caliber is not for me. But I've
Correct.
got him 5th, and he can win. Okay, listen, I think Everett Dangerous can win this race. I even looked at Street Ready. I even looked at Spanish Kingdom. I mean, I think a lot of horses can. Sanctuary City. Why can't he get a piece? He's showing
Sure.
the distance doesn't seem to matter. He drew well in here after having an outside post last time. My take on Ocala Dream, and believe me, I don't love anybody in here. He's going to be a price. And the more I look at this race, I said, I'm not taking somebody that's going to be 7-2 or 4-1 because it's such a tough race. His race 2 back was giant. His race 2 back could win this race. Now, I don't know if he wants a mile and 3/16. I don't know if Tom Morley is confident he's going to get a mile and 3/16. But he ran huge 2 back. Okay, he did not run well last time. He also was too close to the pace last time. Not sure how he ended up as close to that pace.
To a fast enough, a pace faster than he's accustomed to.
It was a funny race because the race was sort of run evenly. Closers did okay, speeds did okay. I just felt like his race 2 back was a sign that he may have turned into a new horse as a 4-year-old, and now he comes back. He's going to be a price. And Anthony, I didn't have picks in this race last night. I looked at this race just forever. I don't know how you look at this race, and I don't have a problem you picking Flop Shot. Absolutely, but I don't know how you look at this race. Goes, I want this one.
No.
I only know I didn't want the one I picked second.
No, I mean I want to go like 4 or 5 deep in here.
Yeah, it's a tough race. Great race. Great race. Race number
You kind
8.
of feel like there's 3 stakes today.
I agree. Oh, wow. You're just full of good points today, aren't you? I'm out of water. Almost.
What happened?
I'm out of water. I think the question for you, my friend, is we're going to show Highland Chief, the horse to beat in here, winning the Man of War. And Anthony's going to explain to me how this horse is his 5th pick in a 5-horse field.
I thought this horse's race in the Man of War was all about the ride from Trevor McCarthy. And
The horse had nothing to do with it.
I think it was all about the ride.
The horse
He
had
put
nothing
this
to do
horse in
with
the right place.
What about the Manhattan? Is next
Gufo
up? Is
remembered.
that all about?
Gufo remembered what he was. I thought he ran okay in the Manhattan. I don't think he ran great in the Manhattan. I don't think he ran great first time here. I think the ride Trevor gave him in the Man of War made the difference.
You don't like him here because Trevor gave him a good ride in the Man of War.
I think this horse is dressed up off of that race. I don't think he ran particularly well in the other 2 races. You could listen. This is what makes this game great. People can disagree. I don't like him.
Okay. All righty. I think he ran terrific in the Manhattan. I think you look at the Manhattan. He was 2 to 3 wide. The rail was the place to be. The second horse came up the rail. He came back to win the United Nations. Tribhuvan got loose to the rail, ran super, slow pace, in here. I think this horse is terrific. I think the more distance will help mile and 3/8. I think it's a horse to beat. I don't have any problem picking against him. I think to have him last is preposterous, but that's fine. What do you like about cross border?
I mean, I like the fact that he's back home. This is where he does his best work. He's 3 for 3 at the distance, even though one of them was win via DQ. I think you could pick holes in this entire field.
Right, but why are we like so? Cross border is the distance.
He's a horse for the
He
course and
likes
that loves the
Saratoga.
distance. Yeah.
He
And
actually
I
ran
don't-
okay in his last race. He didn't have a good trip last time.
I
He didn't
don't
run it
trust.
badly. I don't think he can possibly win.
I
but-
don't want
okay.
I don't want Arklow off the long layoff.
I don't want
Lime-
Arklow either. I don't want Arklow either.
Lime Imperator, you know, 2 starts back was obviously the time when he was able to get loose in the bog.
The bog, but
I don't.
don't
really
you think
like-
they're going to send him today?
I don't. Yeah, they could send him today.
Well, I mean, maybe same day will work.
I don't
well.
think Cross Border is going to be far behind him today.
I don't either. I think
they
Cross
line-
Border.
think
I
they
don't
line
disagree.
Up, I think they line up 1-4, and that was the final reason. I
don't
think
Cross
he's going
Border
to
is
work out.
impossible in here, and I understand what you're saying. I don't really like him, but I won't shocked if he wins. I mean, you look at Rock Emperor and Arklow in the Joe Hirsch last year. If Rock Emperor woke up today and decides to run, he's going to be very tough in here. But he's another horse that's tough to take. Now, in the last race, he broke a length slow. He was 2 wide in the first turn, 3 wide, and then spun out the 6th path. On a day you need to be inside with the rails down. The Rock Emperor is a very, very, very hard horse to rely on. But if he shows up today, he's going to be very tough.
I picked the race 4-6 because he's the one. I feel like he's the one that has the race on an island in him to get the job done.
Well, he probably has the second best race in here besides Highland Chief's race, 2 back. Highland Chief's race 2 back will win this race, and that's a certainty. But we'll see if he runs it. All right, we disagree on the Bowling Green. This has been moved to Sunday. First
Should
time.
almost-
Did
we
that
should al-
affect your selecting?
I think we got a lunch bet this now.
No.
You want
No,
bet?
I don't have a big problem with cross border.
all right.
I think your opinion of 3 is ridiculous, but that's fine. Race number 9. I approach race number 9 differently than you. I think the key to this race is to pitch Corniche.
Wow.
We'll show Corniche win the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He's undefeated. He beat Papa Cap, who had a perfect trip and ran fine. Papa Cap's going to be very happy to get in the paddock and say, oh, that horse isn't in there. That Jack Christopher guy isn't in there.
Finished second to Corniche twice, too.
I
He's gonna see
I
him.
think Papa Cap is the only horse out of this Breeders' Cup Juvenile to do a step of running since they ran the race. I don't want this horse. This horse taking forever to get back. I know that Bob, it's obviously ex-Bob Baffert. This horse was sent to Todd Pletcher. Todd's done nothing but win with the horses. I don't like this horse at all. I don't want him. He's going to be a short price because he won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. This is a very tough field, and I don't want any part of this horse. I think he's horrible value in here, and I think he's a great bet against.
Okay. I obviously disagree.
Yeah, that's fine. A lot of people disagree with me. I may be wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead. What do you mean?
there's not a lot of speed in this race.
Well, Ganite's going to go. I have to imagine from that inside post.
He
he's
has
gonna
the
go.
2 horses that have the speed to his inside. And, Todd, and I am not, before anybody says it, I am not comparing this horse to Life is Good.
Good call.
But when Life is Good came here, he had Life is Good ready to roll first time. I took a Jackie's Warrior effort to beat him.
Stop. You did just compare him to Jack. Life's good.
Say
Hey,
again?
Todd Pletcher, trainer switches in the dirt, 6 to 12 months at Naira. 2 for 10, 97-cent ROI. I mean, it's, please don't use Life is Good as an example.
All I'm saying is, it's not like he hasn't taken a horse from the
By the
guy.
way, I'm not blaming Todd for this. Guy's a great trainer. I just don't like this horse.
Okay.
I don't
I'm
care
not,
who's training
I'm
this
not
horse,
his
I wouldn't
biggest
bet
fan
him.
either, but I would have to think this horse is going to get a pretty good setup today.
Okay,
I
we'll
got to
see.
think he's talented enough where he can win this race.
Of course
Some
he can.
people can argue that his sprint,
Of course he can win this race. I'm just not betting him.
the sprint was as fast as Fig.
I'm not saying he can't win the race. I just don't like him.
Okay.
I don't like the whole story with this horse. We'll take a look at the Ganite race, the Maxfield. Well, quick to name a race for a horse. That's right. Churchill's coming up with new stakes to compete with our stakes on a daily basis, right? They've got a dirt sprint to compete with the Honorable Miss on the day they're running the Arlington races. They're all over the place. You know something? I don't like this race, Anthony. My prankster, who sort of looked like he wasn't running, I think he ran fine in the context of this race. Hoist the Gold, who shouldn't have been 30-1, still he's Hoist the Gold is right there at the wire. I don't know. I don't like this race. I'm not taking horses out of this race.
Okay.
That was one of the things I did to ease my pain. Get out of here. Go away. Find somebody else to bother.
You know you could just shoe them. You don't have to talk to the bugs, right?
You've got Gunite third,
I
hopeful
do.
winner.
Yeah,
I
thought this race was far more interesting than I did.
You don't think this is an interesting race? This is a fascinating race. You don't think this is an interesting race? This might be the most interesting running of the Amsterdam I've ever seen.
Yeah, you and I see this completely differently.
We may see the race completely differently, though I have the horse you have in top second, but I'm sorry, there's nothing but horses that run good races in here.
I think if Accretive comes back.
It's Accretive.
Accretive?
Yeah, it's Accretive. We'll get to him in a second. I like Pinehurst. We'll show his Saudi Derby. I'm going to say something about Pinehurst. When Bob Baffert shipped horses to New York, where did they go?
John Terranova.
Right. If Bob Baffert, now this horse has been shipped east, and John is going to be the trainer of this horse, as he has been and been successful with many Bob Baffert horses. If this horse was still trained by Bob Baffert, but John was taking care of him, what price would he be?
3-1.
Right. This horse, I don't know. I thought his second in Forbidden Kingdom was very good. He obviously was a talented horse before things went wrong in the Santa Anita Derby. This horse ran well fresh. I think this horse is very, very interesting in here. He's the ex-Baffert that I want, and he's going to be a much better price.
Yeah.
I like this
It'll
horse.
be 3 times the price.
Yeah, I like this horse a lot today. I think he's a really interesting horse. Now, I don't have a problem with Accretive. We'll show his last race. I think Accretive fits extremely well in here. I mean, you could talk about him. You like him more than I do, but
I think if Accretive takes the routine improvement, makes the routine improvement in his second start.
Wait a second. Horses very more often take a step back after their debut when they win. So I wouldn't say routine.
Chad Brown horses?
Yeah, Chad's numbers off of maiden wins in their second starts are not huge. Yeah. You can look them up. So,
I think this
Nick, you want to look them up? Tell them how maiden debut dirt winners do for Chad Brown in the second start.
I think if this horse improves like I think he will, I think he'll bury this field.
Why do you think he'll improve?
Because I see it enough from the barn.
But you have to look at numbers. And without looking at numbers, because we talk about this, without having the numbers in front of you, that's not helping anybody. It's not what you've seen.
You don't feel like what you've seen from Chad's horses second time.
The numbers coming back with second-time stars in the dirt are okay. His numbers are great everywhere. The guy's unbelievable. I'm not knocking him, but you're acting like
I love this horse's debut.
Somebody look up and tell me
the other thing.
Chad Brown dirt maiden breakers in their debut.
Here's the other thing, okay?
Because Anthony sees them all winning.
It's such a fascinating race, and a lot of people feel the way you do.
No, I'm not. It's not how I feel. I want the numbers. It's not a. These aren't
opinions.
opinions. Trainers get mad when I give a good stat or bad stat.
I'm not talking about the numbers anymore. I'm not talking about the numbers anymore. What I'm saying is, a lot of people feel this is a very fascinating race. Great renewal. Okay. Chad Brown don't do this a lot?
No, I picked him second. I'm not against this horse at all. I'm just saying to assume that this horse is going to move forward well off the debut is a little bit.
That's fine.
By the way, I'm not sure he can't win this race if he comes close to running his first race.
I have a very strong opinion in here.
I know, but you like a lot of these Chad Brown
I think this horse is going to bury this field.
Bury this field?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
I think Seth has got in his car to drive home.
I think he's got. I think you're right. I think you're right to an extent about Corniche. I do.
Well, you got a second.
And I don't see what.
Bury this field.
Yeah. Yep.
You know there was a maiden breaker that day that ran a faster fig, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And I think that horse, St. Tappet needs to go 73 miles. I mean, his
probably
class.
Go 7.
His class.
He'll probably go
right.
a fraction of that.
Right. The fact that Chad is running this horse in the fact that Chad is running. The fact that Chad is running this horse.
So far, scratch time's 45 minutes before the race.
After hearing this,
he's calling the racing office right now and going, out. He's thinking about Wood Day.
He's filling it out right now.
When you buried them. He's going,
filling it out right now.
Stabile loves him. Can't lose. Out. I expect Johnny I to come right out and say, somebody's saying Johnny I's a late scratch he wants to announce. I mean, how
are you done? I mean, really, are you done?
I don't know. We got one last race. I mean, there's one more obvious.
I only have 9. There's 10.
I'm not even going to answer. I'm going to stay away from that one. So I don't know about you. I mean, this card, and I think it's a really fun card today. is full of races where I have absolutely no idea who's going to win them.
No,
And by the
this
way,
is
I like
bedlam.
horses in the Amsterdam, but I don't have a huge amount of confidence in them. I don't know how anybody other than this guy could be. Oh, wait, we're getting stats. Okay, Nick Tamaro checking in. Okay, second timers on dirt off maiden wins, 13 for 56 with a $1.21 ROI. So that is about, my math isn't great, but I'm going to say it's around 23%.
24%, right.
Okay. In sprints, he's 17% with a 91-cent ROI. Okay. In graded stake dirt sprints, he's 1 for 7 with a 43-cent ROI. His only winner was a horse. God, here's a horse I forgot about. Feedback. Remember Feedback?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you've seen these numbers. So the numbers you've seen are slightly different than the other ones. I'm not against accretive, but stats.
I'm just telling you how I feel.
Evan Schwartz even looked it up.
Tapioca pudding for me today.
Okay, $3 or $6. Wait a second, you're not tapioca? You wanted to ask me for 2,000 before.
If they're giving you 20,000, I want 2 of it.
I got one of those texts. You ever get this text that says, great news, you have a credit in your Verizon bill. And like, great news is 20,000 is about to be delivered to you. Anthony said, I have 2. I said, if I get 20, you can have 2. This race is very, very hard. We'll show the race that 837 horses come out of, where Martinez, who if he wins, I'm going to lose. You can have Martinez. And actually, Bo in the back ran okay, trying to rally inside of horses. I wanted to see something from Majestic Johnson, and I know it's a Linda Rice second-time starter. Maybe I should have moved him up off that. I don't know. He's Irad Ortiz, so he's going to be a short price.
You threw the blanket over, and that's where I landed here for the simple fact that Source kind of had a weird, not a weird trip, but he just kind of did what the Linda things, what the Linda horses do.
He didn't have a weird trip. You know what had trouble in this race? Chapel Road. Chapel Road is the only horse in that race that had trouble. He got steadied out there, and he was steady down the backside. I took Sluggo, who did no runners. It's Slugo. I'm just hoping second off a layoff for Michelle Nevin. I don't know. What about Steerage, who had speed? You don't think Steerage has a chance to wire this field?
You going to pick that right handle guy? Yeah.
Didn't he win?
I want to use.
Win a race?
Yeah. I want to use. Yeah, he won the second race with that ridiculous pastel purple jacket on.
You know,
Carson Kressley was here yesterday, and I feel like a lot of trainers were overwhelmed by his presence and just tried to really step up their game, incling Ray.
You think that's what it was?
I think that was part of it.
That was what it was?
Yeah.
You know,
he was looking for
it takes courage to rock a purple jacket.
It does.
And of course, it just makes me think of Dom Coluccio anyway, but that guy had a lot of clothing courage for sure. You could wear a purple jacket. You got a whole lot going on. I see you in purple before the meet's up. I see you swathed in purple.
I'll wear one.
Believe me. You wore pajamas to the Aqueduct one day, so.
1996. Robbie Davis told me the horse in the 8th race couldn't lose. The horse won and paid 11 and change. We all tapped out. Great day. Robbie Davis was the only person on the first floor of the clubhouse at Aqueduct and in the paddock. He was riding a horse for Frank Alexander. He was the only person that acknowledged that I was wearing plaid pajamas.
Do they have feet?
No. I had my sneakers on. Probably had my Air Jordans on.
I work with a guy who wears pajamas. Not you. Anyway, it's been fun. A couple days to recharge. Because as you can see, we're completely worn out up here. Anyway, it's been fun as it always is. Anthony, appreciate it. Appreciate all of you as well. We had an amazing day yesterday. It's been a great week here. The weather a lot cooler than last week. It's not surprising things picked up with that weather last week. I think it kept a lot of people away. And frankly, I understand, and Anthony does as well. We all do. But we appreciate the support of everybody. Another terrific day yesterday, a great handle. Everything was good. Another good day to look forward to as well. You need to play it through Naira Bets. If you're not a member, use the promo code TOGA200. Sign up for Naira Bets. We'll match you to $200 of your initial deposit. Play through Naira Bets. Keep the money. In the game, we have the Run Happy Travers Bankroll Builder, 50 to win in the Amsterdam. And Anthony told you that the 5 accretive can't lose. It is accretive, by the way. Get $20 towards the Travers. We have the Low Rollers, Jay and Ray Show, outside the Miller Time 4-Star Dave Bar. $40 buy-in, $30 bankroll, $10 prize pool. Lots of fun. Head on over for the Low Rollers contest. We have the Triple Play. You know, it's Friday.
5, 8, and 9.
5, 8, and 9. There you have it. Thank you for that, Anthony. Let's look at that. Hang on. 5, 8, and 9. So what are you going to do?
Who is that?
You don't think that's essential? No, that's Chadwell.
Not essential quality.
Malathaat?
Could be Malathaat.
I'm just trying to think. Was she the 6th in the Alabama last year?
I don't recall.
Anthony, you are
Imagine
slipping.
that.
So you got that. Oh, my gosh. This thing, the 8th race a little easier, the Bowling Green. The 9th is easier. Creative can't lose.
Right.
Expect that scratch any moment. And where else are we going here? We got the right. Oh, we got the right slate.
Got the right stuff.
Still confusing. 1 to 2:30 on 1, 2:30 to 4 on 2, 4 to 6:30 on 1. What could go wrong?
1, 2, 1.
All right. It has been fun, but the fun is just beginning. Johnny I up next. The reprise scratch and changes. Have a wonderful Sunday here at Saratoga.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.